varies depending on whether they actually know already Deloitte or not. What is Deloitte actually doing there? What is our business offering? Are we offering specific use cases? So we're having quite broad discussions here. I see a lot of interest also coming up in supply chain, which after banking and energy is quite new here. But yeah, they're asking what are we really focusing on and how are we operating and how are we working. So the question is, where is the Blockchain Institute? What is it actually doing? How does it operate? And it is actually operating the way that we are somehow a startup within Deloitte. We are entrepreneurs. We are working with all the functions within Deloitte to bring this thing out together. So we are combining audit, corporate finance, consulting, and important also legal, because most of the use cases have a legal aspect. Do I need to involve some regulatory parts? Not everything that can be done technically is also legally enforceable. So these are the things that we are working on there, and we're doing this for the whole Deloitte part to bring that together, both industry agnostic, platform agnostic, as Milan explained before. So we are not focusing on one very blockchain, but we are taking all the blockchains in consideration. And then we are embedded in a European and a worldwide network. So our Deloitte Institute, Blockchain Institute, is the German premise where we are focusing on the topic. Then we have the EMEA lab in Ireland, where we also second people that work there together. So we have roughly between 40-30 people sitting in Ireland that work together on POCs to bring it to life, because virtual working is necessary in this space because there are not so many experts, but sometimes it really helps to glitch together and work on that, bring it to life when you talk and engage with each other. And then we have the worldwide community where we try to focus our work and also divide work, who's working on what, so that we don't duplicate work and move as fast as possible. It depends, as so often. Supposedly there are business guys working in the field. We also have legal guys that actually have, in their free time, they like to program and engage in these processes. But then again, in the end, to really deliver it, there are the full stack developers that actually really focus on it and work on it. And when we talk to our technical experts, like our chief architect for blockchain, usually they need 6 to 8 weeks to get up to speed in programming in smart contracts or programming for blockchain. Our benefit here is that we are not a platform developer. We build on platforms that have been built. We check it, we understand how to use them and how they operate and how they work, but we don't do core platform development. So we build on it, and that makes it easier for us actually to work with the platforms. Well, the usual way is that we might have an idea and we approach the client and tell them, this is an interesting thing, do you want to engage in this? In the blockchain space, it's quite different. The need from the client to understand what blockchain is and how it operates is so high that we barely can keep up with it. So we have client meetings all over the time, and this shifts now. The first meetings we had were like, what is blockchain, how does it work, what can I actually do with it? And now the clients are actually approaching us with ideas, and we assess with them together whether this is something that they need blockchain for, or probably they don't need blockchain for, because not everything that can be done with blockchain actually necessarily needs to be done with blockchain, but could also be done with something else. But on the other hand, we actually develop POCs, thought leadership, think of what could actually be done, and then go to clients, tell them about it, and we engage in a process actually to developing how could this be used, where is it necessary, where can it help, and then we help them to actually engage in this process, engage in the ecosystem, engage to understand blockchain, to embrace blockchain. They need a dedicated driving team to actually bring together all those functions, since if you drive a use case, for example, just from the finance space, it can be very difficult because you need to include very different business units to have a viable case. So we basically start with a use case, a case that needs to be done, and then we assess the different blockchains, whether they suit or not. Do they perform fast enough? That can be a problem with the Bitcoin blockchain, for example. Do we need smart contracts? Do we need to change it? Is the client ready to use a public blockchain, or do we need closed systems? So this is the way we work and come closer to the right solution. Sometimes the client has some ideas on what they want to use. Sometimes they have no idea at all. Most of the time they know what they don't want to use, and sometimes it takes some convincing also to say, but try to look at it again. This might be the right solution for you. Just because you read a tweet or short article telling you that there might be some difficulties does not dilute the whole platform. If it comes to smart contracts and building stuff, probably the most easy platform to start off would be Ethereum. Right now we see that Hyperledger is doing huge steps towards the 1.0 version that they have launched right now. This might be more stable. R3 has invested a lot of time in creating Corda, which is now also open sourced. So this is great to advance the platform, to work further with it. They have the advantage that transactions are not necessarily open, and this has to be thought through in a this really needs to be thought through well to understand where the benefit can then still be, and they have done great work on that. So there's Tendermint, there's Monarchs, so there are so many different platforms, and the assessment of those platforms is difficult. We have a lot of talks there, but usually we find a suitable platform. I don't see yet a platform that is totally outperforming all the others now.